What's up, Web4? Oh, you know what? Am I muted? Should be good. Hold on. Sure. Okay, it looks like we're good on audio. Oh, okay, there you go. What's up, you guys? What's up, Web4 Roundtable fam? Episode 257 here today. We're sponsored by at Gilmore Estates, the GC token. Update the banner here. Make sure to go shoot them a follow, tokenizing real estate on Hedera. We're just going to jump into things here on the technical analysis side of things. We did a show this morning. Still recovering from that. I'll be honest on that one. I don't usually do more than one show on any given day. So definitely recuperating a bit on that one. But I do want to bring you guys the latest technical analysis news. I haven't shared that within almost the last week since Wednesday. So we're going to cover that. There's a massive trend line that's formed from Bitcoin. I found a new chart. I told you guys I've been wanting to find a new chart to fixate on for Bitcoin. So I did find it. Just type in Bitcoin, BTC, USD, and then head over to the monthly candles. And then we're going to unpack that for a little bit here today. So essentially, you can't really see the trend on here because the volume was so insignificant compared to these candles. But Bitcoin has essentially followed this trend line since its first bull run, since 2013, essentially, since the first top. So this is incredibly important. This is a trend line that almost no one's going to tell you about, that no one's going to talk about, and we're going to cover it here on our show. So as you can see, and I have never really covered it publicly, I'm just kind of aware of just kind of where the trend is. So during our last run, essentially in the beginning of this year, we were well below this bull run. This trend line in particular. And as you can see, of course, it's ascending. I can actually make it a bit longer here. So you can see, give me 1 second. It's about here. So as you can see, it's ascending, as I was saying before. I'm going to zoom in so you don't actually have to watch the previous years. So essentially, when we close these candles, so we had our August, and then this month, we're about to close this candle in September. Let me zoom in really quick. So if we close Bitcoin above here, above 64K, so we got to basically close within the next, I don't know, whenever the candle closes by tonight at some point, we have to close above this 64K, so probably about 65, which I believe yesterday, because we had a dip over the last 24 hours, I believe. We were going to have a bullish engulfing candle, and technically confirming above this historical, I mean, this is the most important line in Bitcoin's entire history, and technically in crypto's entire history. So we're battling it. I mean, we broke through it in August for the first time, and let's see. Last time we broke was basically leading into the bear market. We didn't break it in a major way, but it's still broken. And then in terms of the following candle this month, essentially, we're actually breaking back above it ever so slightly. And so basically what any of this means is this next candle in October, once we close this one, if we can have an actual breakthrough candle, which would put us at about, like I said, that 65,000 range, and then going into November, I mean, it's raising every month. Essentially, it gets a little bit higher. So basically, for this bull run, we're gonna have to watch this trend line. I'll share it more as we continue on. But this is going to be that key market structure that we're going to be focusing on moving forward. And until we break down below it, chances are the bull run's not over yet until that actually happens. And so we do need another confirmation candle. Ideally, October, we blow past it and create basically a new leg up. If we don't, then I do believe we're going to see some, I don't want to call it a bloodbath, but I believe we'll see something down here in this range. This is such an important level to be aware of. And here's some good news, though. This candle in August, this candle in September are considered bullet or hammers, which usually signals a trend reversal in the opposite direction of whatever is shown of the momentum. So we saw a bunch of downside, but we basically consolidated up here at that 58 level, and then we made some headway up here up to this trend line essentially. So we had indecision up here right above it, and the market said, you know what, we're gonna tank a bit. So let's break this officially, because we were holding it as support for a while. We did break down below it, and then this candle technically is actually the confirmation candle. So if we do actually close below, let's say, like, I mean, we're so close to doing it too, which is a little bit concerning as well. So if we break down, and obviously this line could be a little bit off, but you guys get the point. If we break down below like 62K in that range, basically by tonight, that actually, and this candle turns red, I guess this candle will have to close down here in this range in the low 50s. The 62 to the low 50s, if that happens by tonight, that could be a negative confirmation candle below this key market structure, which no one wants to see, of course. And then, of course, if we, as long as we remain green and we're even slightly above this blue going into October, which is literally one more day at this point, going into October, that could be the catalyst for the next massive candle, essentially. So, and that would be the confirmation candle that we've been looking for as well. So I haven't covered that yet really on our show before, but I do want to just kind of pull out all the indicators and everything I'm looking for, keep you guys, in order to keep you guys up to date and informed on what's going on in the market. As you can see, ending September, we're so, as I said before, going into September, October, that's most likely when the cross will happen. You can see how incredibly close the lines are. So it's really just a matter of waiting at this point, just seeing what this cross is going to look like, or are we just going to lose a bunch of momentum and go to the downside? So I don't have really a ton more else to say on this specifically. This is essentially what's going on. This is the state of the market, if you will. But we do need to start closing above this blue line to be basically regain our bullishness once again. Let me throw the RSI up as well. Yeah, RSI is actually in an uptrend, funny enough, right now. So RSI is up to almost 64. So above 50, typically considered in a bull run. And that's pretty much all for the technical analysis side of things for Bitcoin today. Basically, these two hammers typically signal a trend reversal. And so if we do have a pump in October, that's not really uncommon. And the chart's kind of talking about that right now. Now, really the next however many, for me, it's like 10 more hours before Bitcoin closes the candle. So I guess 10 hours, we need to see where Bitcoin ends up in relation to this trend line right here. So yeah, I mean, this is so significant market structure in our space here. And I do believe this is going to affect all the tokens in our ecosystem. So stay watching for this and see where Bitcoin closes at the end of the day. And you really want Bitcoin to close like at 65K or higher by the end of the night, which could totally happen still. It's super indecisive still. You want it to, because that would be a bullish engulfing candle for this one, which would mean more upside essentially for the candles. So stay watching and see what happens. Of course, Bitcoin took a dip today. We just have to see what happens in the market. So let me jump to the fear and greed indicator, fear and greed index, I should say. Also, if you guys missed our show this morning, my goal is to do one morning show every 2 weeks on a Monday. So this Monday, 2 more weeks, we'll do another one. I got to figure out what topics to do though, because I feel like I used up a lot of the questions that I've been really thinking about, and the community's really been figuring out as well along the lines. So we asked. I mean, I asked Tom, Biga, Pluto from Hatchpack, Tyler, and Brady from Bonzo Finance, all the founders. We had a really great discussion. If you missed it, episode 256 is live. Go to my X account. Go to the highlights. It should be the latest show. It's called Hedera State of the Union. And then if you want to go on YouTube, it's on YouTube as well, live streamed. I am thinking of segmenting the show, this morning show in particular, creating some content with it, because there was a lot of alpha packed into that one. Again, if you missed it, you do want to go listen back to it. I haven't made any posts about it yet. I just ran the show this morning. So before I make the post, feel free to go and jump in and listen to it if you guys are hearing me here today. And then, of course, we're on YouTube as well. We're live streaming on YouTube. So make sure to go like and subscribe on our channel if you haven't already. Let me find, where is it at? Yeah, best way to support the show: like, comment, subscribe, retweet, all that good stuff. You guys know how it goes. If you're on the spaces, on the live stream. Also, some of you guys have messaged me saying, hey, I like the spaces more sometimes because I can still scroll around while the show's still going on, that kind of stuff. So that's actually only like part of the truth. So you can actually, there's a little button on the top right, at least on mobile that I'm aware of. There's a little button that you can click on that'll basically minimize your screen for the live stream, and you can still hear me, you can still hear the speakers, and you can scroll around and go to other apps, basically like when you're on the spaces. So I highly recommend, if you didn't know that, try to mess around with it, because you should be able to still use your phone or your desktop, and you shouldn't have your whole screen taken up just for the show. So highly recommend you try that out if you haven't already. I know some people were trying to figure that one out. So let me know if you guys have any questions about that. But like I said, this morning I'm gonna just add it right here really quick. So Hedera State of the Union, bi-weekly live streams on Mondays. Let me know what time zone as well works the best. I think we had a pretty good turnout this morning, 10 a.m. EST, 7 a.m. PST. So it was 7 a.m. for me, quite early. I'm still recovering from that show, not gonna lie. But I had a ton of fun. The guest speakers were amazing. I'm looking forward to having more of those as well. So in 2 weeks, we'll have the next one. If you guys have any ideas for questions, any speakers specifically, I got to figure out. I have some ideas for speakers and some ideas for questions moving forward as well. But let me know. What do you guys think? Is there any specific topics you're dying to learn about? And then is there any specific speakers you want to hear from? Do let me know. I'm really curious what the Hedera community wants to know about, and I do it for you guys. So I want to make sure you guys are up to date with what's going on in the ecosystem. So again, if you missed it, literally just go on my highlights on X or just go on YouTube. We are on YouTube. Let me actually pull it up because I don't really show off the YouTube channel too much. 1 second here. If you're on YouTube already, just type in WEB4 Roundtable, and it's going to pull up all of our videos here, and we live stream on YouTube as well. So let me pull it up. All right, I found it. So our show on Wednesday last week, that was actually our biggest show ever on YouTube, funny enough. So let me pull it up really quick. And then our show this morning has done pretty well as well already. So you guys should be able to see my screen. Yeah, here's our YouTube channel here. I'm not sure why the YouTube logo is a little bit high. I should probably lower that, the logo. But you guys can see it, WEB4 Roundtable. And then, of course, we are live streaming our current show. And if you are on YouTube at all, you enjoy streaming on YouTube, make sure to tap in here. And then you can also see the upcoming shows as well, and what time and what day. So our next show, October 2nd, 5 p.m. EST. So make sure to go check it out. Go shoot us a subscription. And if you missed any of our shows, make sure to just go back and listen to them. And we also have YouTube shorts. I'm going to start updating these more as well. I haven't updated them in a few weeks, but I do want to start adding more of these shorts in here as well, with just some little tidbits of alpha. And then perhaps start adding some more specific videos outside of the live stream, so you guys can, I can condense it. I just got to mess with the, what do you call it? Video editing software, which I've never really done, but I'm happy to learn, happy to figure it out. And yeah, I want to start adding some more specific content on the YouTube and of course on X as well. So Let me reshare the tab. So again, if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, make sure to go do that on Web4 Roundtable on YouTube. All right, let me show you guys the crypto fear and greed index. Also, if you want to come up as a speaker, feel free to hit that button on the bottom left on the spaces. And then if you're on the live stream, just let me know in the live comments. I think that's the easiest way to do it at this point. Let me know if you want to come up to speak. Happy to bring you guys up. We're going to keep the show going for a little bit here before we start wrapping things up. So let me know how you guys are doing, what's going on, what you guys think is happening in the market here. All right. Where is the fear and greed index? Here you go. All right, so we're basically leveling out. We're at 55, super neutral here. And I personally think the price action is pretty bullish, not going to lie. Obviously, if we close below that trend line, that could be something pretty negative, which could probably lead us into scenario 2, which I said we're basically at that point where something's going to give. Either we're gonna level up and go beyond that trend line and maybe even break a new all-time high for Bitcoin very soon, or we are going to crash and we're going to probably go back down into the mid to low 40,000s. I think that's very much on the table, and that's why sentiment is showing this, right? We're seeing very poor sentiment and we're seeing very neutral sentiment. There's still not a ton of bullish sentiment, even though we're almost near breaking out into the light green in the 60s. Still very, very indecisive, if you will, on sentiment. So basically, if you're watching this show, this is a historical show because you're basically watching before a major move happens to the upside and or to the downside, and you just have to kind of prepare. There's only so much you could do, prepare financially to get into stables or whatever. But if we do have a massive push to the upside, even or to the downside, you have to be cognizant that you have to be super patient about what's happening next, and you have to stay super level-headed. If the moment that you start trading, getting involved with your emotions, that's the surefire. That is the absolute fastest way to get absolutely wrecked in this market. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see anyone getting wrecked here in this market. So try your best to stay level-headed. I'm going to try my best to continue to keep you guys posted on what I'm seeing in the market, seeing in the charts, of course, as well. And I believe we're going to do just fine during this cycle. So there's the crypto fear and greed index. Make sure to stay up to date with that. The moment we actually get back up here in the high greens, that's when you're going to want to take profits. I don't make the rules. That's just what's happening. And it's very, very possible in the coming months we get back up to this level. And I'm going to be shouting it from every single show that I do. Hey, not financial advice. If you're in Bitcoin, take profits. If you're in altcoins, basically, let me go back to the chart here. Right here, right? The lower that, basically the smaller that this massive chunk is up here, that's when, if you're in altcoins, that's when you should be taking profits. So I think this gray can easily get up to these levels again, maybe even up here at this level. So 33%, we're at 17%, which is about 50%. So all altcoins easily could just simply double from here, and Bitcoin could lose another 40-50% of its dominance, specifically, not necessarily its value, but its dominance, which means that all season hasn't started yet. So that's also a massive indicator to be watching for. You want to see that. Same thing with Ethereum. Historically, Ethereum has pumped during these times as well. Ethereum went up to almost 20%. Ethereum currently is at almost 14%. I don't know what the Ethereum's future actually holds for this cycle, to be honest. I think it's losing a lot of market share. I think it's losing a lot of ground. Obviously, we're coming out of a bear market, but we'll have to see. But historically, Ethereum pumps before alt season happens as well. So kind of all eyes are on Ethereum as well. So super important. That's pretty much it, though. I mean, I cover this pretty much every show at this point. You guys should be up to date with what's going on here on this part. And if you're missing any of our shows, make sure to go back to listen to, especially last Wednesday's show, episode 255, absolute banger. I think that's the reason why a lot of you guys who didn't watch that one, make sure to go back and watch them. Obviously, you tuned into this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And of course, best way to support our live stream is to like and retweet the show if you are finding any value of our out of our show here today as well. I'm not gonna go into too much of the crypto news side of things, but let me update it because that is what we're gonna talk about here next. Actually, no, we're gonna do the crypto interviews because we're gonna talk about this morning's show. So this morning we did the State of the Union. I did not market it at all. I didn't talk about it at all. I literally made a post last night. I threw it up and we I don't know how many people tuned in. That's not why I do it, but um, seeing how many of you guys showed up this morning. Let's see. That's 300-ish. Yeah, that's awesome. You guys are absolutely amazing. We ran it for about 2 hours. We were going to interview Hashgate, but he had a business meeting going on. So, but normally I would like to do an interview with the State of the Union, just kind of providing a update on where the market is, where Hedera is with various leaders from our ecosystem. So again, if you missed it,
relates to revenue. And then
yeah, so if you missed it, Brady, Tyler, Tom from Pixify. You know what? I didn't even think about this, and I wasn't planning on doing this, but I can actually show you guys just kind of a little tidbit of it. So if you missed it again, make sure to go back and listen to it. I know Genfinity, I didn't realize they were going to have a show at the same time in the morning, right before it. They had one for about an hour before, then it went into almost an hour into the into our show as well. So yeah, I didn't realize there was going to be another show at the same time. Usually they do it every other Monday, like my plan is to do. But I guess they did it this Monday as well. So couldn't really plan for that one, but it did happen. So you guys can kind of catch a little tidbit of it. It looks like Brady is speaking here. So I'll give you guys a little, I'll give you a little sneak peek. And again, make sure to go listen to it. Show starts about 15 minutes into the live stream, into the recording. So let's see what's going on here. It looks like my question was,
there are a number
what
of other
does
metrics I
Hedera?
think that
Let me mute them really quick. What does Hedera have to show other than TPS metrics? So if you like questions like that, make sure to go listen. I asked a bunch of different questions, and I think our panel today did an absolutely amazing job. So let's hear what Brady has to say.
and solid metric to be looking at. And yeah, there's things you can do to game that metric. There's things you can do to game any metric at the end of the day on chain, for better or worse. And then, you mentioned TPS as sort of the single metric that really Hedera looks at, and then the community has found itself really championing around is like the number of aggregate transactions. And
Right.
I think it looks really nice. It's a powerful metric. It does indicate that Hedera has this level of scalability that you would want in a layer one network that is supposed to achieve mainstream adoption. But there's so many other aspects to TPS that I think are underlying that are really important to look at. And the core bit of that, I think, is about revenue and the breakdown of types of transactions that translate to revenue. Not all transactions are created equal. And if you break it out using, I think Hashpoint is a new data analysis for the Hedera network. And if you break it out, it's a significant amount of revenue that's driven by the Ethereum virtual machine on Hedera. And I think the quote was like, even just a couple percentage point changes from TPS going from the Hedera token service and the consensus service to the EVM service offers like a 200% increase in revenue. And I'm butchering the figures there. You have to go back to the actual interview between Brandon D and the Hashpoint team where they dive into this. It's a really great interview, but we really should be thinking about how TPS translates to revenue. And then there are a number of other metrics, I think, that you can use to analyze the health of the ecosystem of Hedera that are also comparable to other networks that are competing in the same market as Hedera. At the end of the day, Hedera is a public layer one network, and it's competing with the likes of Solana, Avalanche, Ethereum, all of these other networks, and even layer two networks. And it's not just a single metric, I think, that defines health and success. It's a number of different metrics across many ecosystems that determine how
All right, you guys. That's just a little bit of the teaser for this morning show. So if you found that of any value, you think that that was a super bullish conversation. I obviously I'm biased, but absolutely incredible this morning. And again, massive shout out to our panel for showing up, contributing their thoughts here this morning. So make sure to go back and listen to it. It's in my highlights. It's on X. It's on YouTube. We hosted a space this morning. So all the main platforms you want to look at, we got you covered. So there is that one. Make sure to go back and listen to it. I put a lot of thought, a lot of effort into that show in particular. And I always do, but you guys know how it goes. So make sure to go and listen to it from this morning. So there is that. This morning, I also covered the Hedera Governing Council minutes from August towards the end of the show. I think I took like maybe 30 minutes or less on it. So again, if you missed this morning's show, make sure to go back and listen to it. That was a big part of our show at the end. And honestly, that Governing Council minutes was pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie, that was phenomenal. So if you missed it, I'm not gonna cover it again. It's a lot to cover, but definitely go back and listen to this morning show again. A lot of alpha, a lot of alpha to cover here this morning. All right, let's see something really quick. I learned that there's some hotkeys to create marker key moments while you're live streaming. Find and repurpose them. That's awesome. Okay, so it looks like you just press B and you can. Oh, awesome. All right, let's see what happens when I press B. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, well, that's gonna help me a ton with editing videos. Then all I gotta do is press B. Then, all right. Hopefully, I remember that. But it looks like we also touched on Salsa Swap liquidity pool there. Total value locked. We touched on USDC this morning as well. So again, ton of alpha discussed. Make sure to go back and listen to it. So 52.233 million TVL on Salsa Swap. Looks like we're up 100%. Wait, is this only 1 year? Oh, let's go to the 1 month. This morning we covered the 1 month. All right, so we're up. Yeah, same thing. We're up 24%, almost 25% in 1 month. That's a great push. And then, as I said this morning, on the 1 year time frame, we did go up to 155 million for TVL. So I do believe we can go way past that. And of course, our ecosystem will look essentially completely different than it does right now. If we were to breach that 155 million level. Of course, we have other DEXs as well, and we're just kind of waiting and seeing what kind of TVL metrics can kind of come from that as well. So super fascinating, super important to be aware of as well. So there's that. There's not a ton else to discuss. Of course, we have chain inspect. Let me refresh the screen here because we did talk about Hedera's current TPS and some of the revenue aspects as well this morning. So it looks like Hedera is, and it has been down below like 100 transactions a second for I think most of today and maybe yesterday. That was the last I checked. Has to do with Atma, I guess, not being online or something. I don't really know the whole distinction between that, but we did cover it this morning. So if you missed this morning's show, make sure to go back and listen to it again. But Hedera, like I was saying this morning, like what are these 83 transactions a second minus Atma? Because technically, outside of Atma, like this is actually Hedera's transactions, and we are sitting early this morning. We're sitting at like 5 or 6. We are sitting in the top 5, top 10, but technically we are not number 1 unless these transactions are fake or something. Then most of the top transactions are actually here. Because I know, let me see, hold on. Some people say that voting transactions are included on Solana. So it says voting transactions which are needed to reach a consensus are excluded. So I guess this is Solana's real TPS. So if that's true, of course, then Solana clearly is actually number 1, not Hedera, minus Atma, of course. But outside of that, you have like Pump Fun and a bunch of other use cases on Solana that, of course, drives quite a bit of TPS. So Hedera TPS, though, isn't the end-all be-all metric. We also covered other various metrics that are incredibly important to be aware of as well. And TPS should not be the only metric that we're hyperfixated on as an ecosystem. So there's that point as well. I could show the HederaTransactions.com. I mean, the numbers don't lie. We're currently sitting at around 70 transactions per second. All right. And you guys already know I cover it pretty much every show. So there's that as well. HGraph, HederaRevenue.com. If you're not familiar with this website, this is the link right here to remove Atma. So if we go to the last 24 hours, we had about $20,000 USD in revenue, up about 1.2%. In the last week, we had 147,000 USD in revenue, about 2.5 million HBAR, up almost 9% on the week. In the last month, again, these are all numbers minus Atma. It's a lot higher with Atma, but I mean, I'm not going to include Atma. I'm just not going to. Oh, wait, I think I had it wrong. Oh, I think I had Atma included. Maybe it was confusing there. Yeah, so a lot of these numbers are actually lower. So without Atma, the percentages are higher, but the USD is a lot lower. So the last 24 hours, 3,000. What did I say? 20,000? Yeah, 3,000 USD, 30% up. 24 hours. Last week, up almost 20%, 15K USD. Last month, almost 19% up, 61,000. Last quarter, we're down quite a bit. Super fascinating. Looking at the deposits, looking at the income here. These are the metrics that I'm looking for specifically when it comes to what is driving the TPS on the network. And here's your answer here outside of Atma, essentially. So super important to note. Shout out to the HGraph.io team. So HederaRevenue.com is going to be your go-to website for this one. And then this morning, we did touch on hash point research as well. So again, you can see the TPS here, transactions last 24 hour, lifetime transactions, and so on. So I don't know when or how they're going to kind of token gate this or gate it to pay with the subscription. I haven't looked into when that's going to happen, but I mean, there's a ton of insights. And honestly, I probably should. Okay, I guess you can start a free trial here. Is all of it gated? Okay, all of it's gated. Well, that makes sense because I never clicked on these. Cool. All right, looks like the dashboard. It's a dashboard, public. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I only ever looked at the dashboard. So I'm really curious what these look like. And if any of you guys have used the free trial, maybe I'll use it for one of our next shows. But super important to be aware of, to be watching. Maybe I'll cover. Do you guys want me to cover? Let me know down in the comments below right now before I start wrapping up the show. Do you guys want me to cover Hedera technical analysis as well? Let me know right now. If not, we're going to start wrapping up here. All right, let's see. Is this 24 hours? Cool. Crypto service. Oh, this is really important. I haven't even looked at this. Revenue. Hedera consensus service. Smart contracts. Cool. Total 2,000. Okay, yeah, this is great. Oh, wow. Okay, so consensus service had 6.2 million transactions. Wow. Okay, this is super fascinating. And the consensus service actually had the most revenue. I don't know if this is factoring Atma though. So if it is, then obviously it's skewed a bit. What is this? Okay, yeah, it's probably Atma. Wow. Well, what's fascinating is minus Atma, some of these other smart contracts is up there. I mean, that's like 20-30% less than Atma alone. So smart contracts definitely, regardless of how you feel about them, smart contracts definitely one of the biggest breadwinners for Hedera, hands down. I don't know what these other transactions are, but this is second highest. Super fascinating there. Created accounts actually has a pretty decent amount of revenue as well in comparison to Atma, of course, and then crypto service. But all these numbers are, I mean, incredibly small. We need to see. I mean, 24-hour revenue is actually, when I really think about it, it's actually nothing. I'm pretty sure Solana does like 1 million or more a day or something. So we're not even in the same conversation when it comes to that on the 24 hours. Maybe I'm thinking of monthly or weekly, but if Solana is actually doing like 1 million a day or something, what is that, 50x, 500x or something difference. We definitely need way more revenue on the ecosystem. There's not really a debate there on that one, if these numbers are true, which I'm inclined to believe that they are. All right. I haven't seen, maybe I'll check the comments here on the spaces. All right. So Rabbit asked, how does time zone factor into the candles? What if it's on one side of the line for East Coast, but not on West Coast? So, to my knowledge, the candles actually close on what is the universal time zone? It's oh gosh, I don't know what it's called. UDT or something. What is it called? Hold on, let me type it up. Universal time zone. I forget what it's called because I don't go off of it, so I don't really. UTC. There you go. Universal time zone. I don't know what the C stands for, but yeah. So basically, UTC. Whatever 12, I believe, whatever time 12 is for UTC is when it closes. I could be wrong, but you got to look at it for UTC specifically. And I believe the candles are actually auto adjusted towards your to your time zone, but I could be wrong about that as well. I don't really think of it too deeply, but I know UTC. When I go look at candles, it pulls up UTC on the bottom somewhere. Let me see if I can find it really quick for you guys. Let me pull up Coin Market Cap one more time. Let me pull up H bar. I know you guys want to see H bar. Wait, PopCat went up to 70? Wow. Did it really? Dang, crazy. Wait, Polygon's down at 64? Wasn't it like in the top 15? Or maybe it's the new. Doesn't Polygon have like a new token? Hold on. Oh, yeah. POL. Oh, but it's still dropped. I mean, it's down in 31. That's a pretty decent drop. Looks like BetChain moved up. Caspa moved up. BitTensor, didn't even hear about that one until recently. That one moved up. Sui moved up quite a bit. Near's up to 17 already. Oh wow, Ton is in the top 10. Huh? Tron, Ton, Dogecoin, XRP, Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Cool. All right. H bar is at 45. Sitting at 0.059 cents. September 30th. This is a historical show. I'm going to keep saying that. If we drop, of course, price is going to go a lot lower. If we absolutely rip and pump, these will be the last time we see these prices for probably forever, because the new support levels will be at whatever the previous tops will be. So we'll have to kind of see and watch that. See, let's throw up trading view, see what's going on here. Yeah, pretty massive red candle on the daily because of Bitcoin. As I said, everything's kind of following Bitcoin right now. Not really a debate there. That's why I'm really fixated on Bitcoin at the moment. No bullish engulfing in any capacity here, so definitely no trend reversal yet. Let's pull up an indicator, see what stochastic's telling us. I can only imagine the momentum's even further lost to the downside, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that, especially with Bitcoin about to potentially rally. If anything, that gives us more juice. Yep. So H bar is slowly about to break down below that 20 level. If the orange breaks down below, we're going to really see a lot of momentum lost. Again, that's totally fine. We have not seen a cross up yet. So for all the people that are making posts saying we're back and we're super bullish again and we're excited, whatever, like, until we actually have a trend reversal, arguably they're actually doing a disservice to their community, especially if they have followers or whatever, people that listen to them, take them seriously. Like, if you're influencing other people to make purchases, and I mean, when you're like super hyped when we haven't even had a trend reversal yet, I mean, it's really going to be up to the people listening to the people that are saying, hey, you know what, I'm super hyped and you should be making purchases, right? That's not what any of what we're talking about here. I will say though, the lower we are on momentum, the lower we are on price action, not financial advice. Those are the best times to make purchases. But I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, you know what? This is when we're actually going up. You can only speculate because the market is going to do whatever it wants at the end of the day. So stay level headed, continue to watch. This candle is more of an indecision candle, if anything, which is similar to Bitcoin's. Here, I'll just kind of show you guys really quick. Back in, what was it, August? July. I think July had an indecision candle like this, which could mean that we might have some hammer candles very soon. Let me show you guys Bitcoin really quick. And yeah, to Rabbit's point, let me see if I could pull it up. But I believe it's UTC, midnight UTC. So whatever time that is, I don't know. Let me see. What's up, you guys? See a bunch of you guys in the spaces, bunch of you in the live stream. I'm trying to find where it shows the time zone, but I don't see it. I would just recommend Googling it if you can't find it anywhere. Let's see. Yeah, because sometimes the charts show me a different. Yeah, it says 14:50. Which what time is it? Oh, that's my time. Yeah, because that'd be military time. 2:50. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, just look up I believe it's in UTC though. Last I checked. I was trying to remember what I was going to show you guys. The candle for Bitcoin in July. I believe that one was an indecision candle as well. Let me show you guys. Yeah, it's very similar. Even May, honestly, the current candle that we're sitting at for H bar is this one. Technically, these three candles is more or less where H bar's at. So, like I said, we trail behind Bitcoin for a couple months. So we could see more of this in the next couple months. And then obviously if we have downside action on Bitcoin, H bar is just going to crash and all your tokens will just go to very, very little. And I would just be screaming at, hey, this is the best buying opportunity, not financial advice. I still believe this is a pretty incredible buying opportunity nonetheless. But if we do break this trend line to the downside, hold it as resistance, that will be really bad for the next however many months, which we're gonna have to kind of wait and see until we actually have a cross. So super important. I'm still super bullish. Obviously, if we drop down, then I'll just kind of call it here publicly. Hey, we're gonna have to wait till next year, essentially next summer. But these candles move so fast. You guys all know that by now at this point. The moment that the market shifts, everyone's gonna flip bullish no matter what. And until we actually get that kind of price action, stay level headed. That's all I can continue to say at this point. The moment you let your emotions run wild and run your investments, then I think you're going to absolutely take an L. And I don't want to see that for any of the people that are here, especially here in Hedera. So, friendly reminder, I absolutely believe the people that are going to absolutely kill it this cycle, you have to be in an alpha chat. You have to be involved with the community, a community of people that care about each other, care about them winning alongside themselves as well. So I do have an alpha chat. If you have not joined already, make sure to shoot me a DM after the show is over. Join my alpha group. The link is in my bio. On which NFTs you got. Pick up 3 NFTs, but shoot me a DM. They're super cheap right now. And then, of course, link to my YouTube channel is here at the Web4 Roundtable in the bio. Again, make sure to go stay up to date with what's going on here in our ecosystem. And, of course, we have about, oh, man, I've lost track. I think we have about 80 members or so, 80 active members in there. That's shout out to all of you guys. It's been picking up lately as price action continues to look a little bit more favorable in our ecosystem, and any plays, any opportunities, I want to make sure you guys have them first. I want to make sure you guys are up to date with what's going on. Make sure to join our community here. It's free, it's public here, Web4 Roundtable. Make sure to go join it as well. Share some special offer in there as well. And of course, if you missed our morning show this morning, every 2 weeks, I'm looking to do them on Mondays. A special edition State of the Union show where we just have guest speakers and cover various topics. So if you missed that show this morning, make sure to go back and listen to the Hedera State of the Union. I'm going to make a post later tonight covering that show, just kind of reminding everyone to listen back and tune in, of course. So again, massive shout out to everyone that tuned in here today. We are going to wrap it up here. Don't forget to like and retweet the show here. It is the best way to support what we're doing here at the Web4 Roundtable. I can imagine what this bull run is going to bring us sooner than later. I do believe Scenario 1 is definitely still in play. I'll let you guys know the moment I believe Scenario 2 is in play. And we're going to have to kind of wait and see. So we have another show scheduled for this coming Wednesday, 5 p.m. EST. Place to be in Web3. Massive shout out to everyone that tuned in here today. And yeah, I mean, it's incredible seeing the amount of support from the Hedera community. You guys are absolutely amazing. And we couldn't do this show. I couldn't do this show without you guys. So massive shout out to all of you guys. Much love to all of you as well. Today's show is sponsored by Gilmore Estates. At Gilmore_Estates is the official X handle, and the GC token, tokenizing real estate on Hedera, token ID 324. Let me pull up the sponsor graphics so you guys can actually see it. They're tokenizing real estate on Hedera, official GC token ID 0.03241481. Make sure to associate it. Go check out what they're doing. Shoot them a follow as well and show them some love. And again, massive shout out to their team and what they're doing here on Hedera. And I appreciate the sponsorship. It really helps our show continue to grow, continue to push forward, and continue to help support as many people as possible. And of course, if you want to support our show, again, one final time here, like, retweet, feel free to leave an HBAR comment once season 2 drops. I'm not sure when season 2 starts back up, but you guys know how it goes. And then our official Hedera wallet, 0.044264. All right, you guys. Well, I will catch you all on Monday, 5 p.m. EST. Place to be in Web3. I appreciate all you guys tuning in today. I'll catch you all later. Peace, y'all.